morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lifestyle with Dr. Moby. I'm Dr. Moby, and today we are honored with great guest Melissa from Ohio. Let's welcome her. How are you doing, Melissa?
Good today. How are you doing, doctor?
Good. Thank you for coming to our show. So, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell me what you do normally.
Well, I do a little bit of everything, and it's a little bit crazy, but I'm an author first, a publisher second,
Mhm.
a podcast host that interviews authors, and then I do a little bit of screenplay writing.
Okay, very nice, very nice. And I love all of them actually. So, we're going to start with your book first. So, tell me a little bit about your book.
Well, I have 17 out, so the current one that's just coming out in May is the first of the Obsidian Chronicles,
Mhm.
which is a spin off series of my main series of Light and Dark, which follows Prince Magnus in how he came to be king of the Obsidian.
Okay, very nice. So, is it influenced by some idea, or it just you wanted to just write on it?
The original storyline, The New Reign, that was me looking at my daughter and going, okay, give me a writing prompt to write a book. She
Mhm.
said, a fairy princess that is different from every other fairy princess. Okay, so we just went into that and went backwards, and now we're filling in from the second book, which is a prequel, and there's like 6 books in between.
Wow. So that she made you write all those books.
Well, my now ex-husband said, I bet you can't get a book published. I challenge you to do it. And
Oh,
I didn't look at it as a negative criticism. I looked at it as, okay, you're challenging me to do something, challenge accepted. So
oh, that's fine. Okay, great. So, tell me a little bit also about your podcasting.
my podcasting is on YouTube, and it's just got picked up by every online streaming platform you can imagine, Apple, iTunes, everything.
Mhm.
I interview anything from mostly authors, but motivational speakers shows up a lot of my podcasts
Okay.
because let's put some good in the world, right? It's not just all negative, blah blah blah. You have to put the positive back into the universe.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I love that. Positivity, positive energy, and encouraging a lot of stuff. That's what I do too. A lot of podcasting and videos. I've done 150, and we do a lot of these guests to spread the positive energy, positive image, and we can talk on any of those topics. So tell me some of the topics which are dear to you on podcast.
A lot of it is the motivational, uplifting stories, mindset, coaching. Um, those are my biggest ones.
Okay.
Women's rights, women's issues. I did a few radio shows for civil issues that were going around last year, but I was more of a panelist than the host,
Mhm.
which was fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's good to be on the other side and then kind of check out things. Also, I want to ask you why it is so difficult to motivate people to do right.
To write,
No,
uh,
no. What I mean is to do, let's say, to motivate somebody to healthier lifestyle or to do right thing. Why they are attracted to the other path more.
well, it's not so much that they're motivated to the negative, it's the crab in the bucket mentality. It's who they're associating with. When you have a bunch of negative people around you, regardless of how motivated you are, they're going to pull you back down. The key is you have to get rid of the negative people around you in order to grow. And a lot of people don't want to let go of their childhood friends, family members that are just negative naysayers. They don't
Mhm.
want to lose those connections. But it's not until we lose the negative that we start to grow as a person.
Okay, so what you're saying is that once we change there, some of the friends or people around, then things do change, right?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
living testament of it. Trust me. If you get rid of the negative, then you start to grow and you change your entire lifestyle.
Okay. But they would always consider the negativity or the negative or that as like their strength or their kind of, they don't view them as negative, right?
No, they don't. It's you have to. How do I say this? If you do the same thing every day and you're not happy every day and
Hmm.
you don't change anything, you're always going to be unhappy. You have to change something every day to find your happiness.
Okay. Yeah, and that is so true. So I think it happens when I also have seen some of my host and other guests also both. So what happens is usually if they have adapt or adopt any these changes, and then they become kind of immune in a sense that they consider um, that whatever was the good part, they literally forget about. So if let's say if they adopt the unhealthy lifestyle, they basically think that is new norm, or they kind of satisfied with that, but they literally forget everything what was excellent before, like their memory, their activity, everything. So as soon as we get them back, oh, they say, oh my god, I was missing all that. So
Mhm.
but for them to self realize is hard. It's hard.
It is. It takes a mentor. It takes a coach. It takes a friend that is very positive to help you see what you can change in your life. You cannot do it by yourself. I talk to a lot of motivation coaches, a lot of motivational, inspirational speakers. You can't do it by yourself because you get bogged down by life.
Mhm. Okay, so yeah, work done by. So also tell us how COVID has made it worse. How are you dealing with over there with COVID?
Uh, Personally, COVID has been a blessing,
Oh.
sort of, because it's given me a lot more time to work on business plans, spreadsheets, everything I need to succeed. I've had more time to do it because I'm not going back and forth between the school and me and my daughter, and she's here. So, in a way, that's a blessing. I mean, then also having it for getting sick with it myself, then I reappreciate why I'm here on this earth. So, for me, it was a blessing, but for so many others, it's a negative. You're trapped into a house and you don't like your house. You don't like your life. You don't like being around the people you're around, and you're stuck in this house. You can't do anything. So
Mm,
it takes your negative mindset and just brings you down even further.
mm. Okay. So for you, you're saying is, but what about? I'm sure you have heard from a lot of people around, especially kids too. Very depressed and frustrated because they can't go to actual classes and they have to live with online stuff. Um, so what do you think will be the treatment, or how they're gonna overcome this?
Children need to interact with people. It's not, adults can adopt, children not so much.
Hmm.
They need that constant interaction. So taking a child out of school and doing it online, they're not getting the same resources. Even if the class is the same, they're not getting that interaction. And I see this with my daughter, or I did last year more than this year. It was just a constant depression, and it's, mommy, I want to go do this, mommy, I want to go do that, and you can't. And you
Mm,
don't get through to them that, baby, there's things that, going on, it's not safe. Well, why isn't it safe? It's us as parents to make it safe in the eyes of the child.
mm, mm. Yeah, and that's true. Probably you're absolutely right. Adults have a little more. of that tolerance, but kids, if they can go out, that's very hard, you know. But it's interesting that there was a time when we would encourage, of course, kids to go out. They would play video games, and now they don't want to play those
Mm-hmm.
because they say, "Oh, it's too much."
Yes.
We have to go out.
Yes.
So tell me also about your. You've mentioned about writing, like screenplays or so.
Yeah, I dabble in it. I'm not a professional by any means. I was people argue with me on that one, but it's something to do that's so related to writing, but it's a different process than writing a book. It's completely different setup. It's a lot harder, a lot more challenging, and it's something I'm doing to challenge myself as a writer to grow.
Okay. And is there any particular type of stories you like to write or associate?
For books, I stay towards science fantasy. For screenplays, I write anything from rom-com to romantic dramas to fantasy. So it just depends on my mood what I'm going in.
Okay. So it is for basically those are different than your books.
Yes.
Okay. Also, tell me a little bit about your, and thoughts on. I know right now people are struggling a lot with the COVID and economy. Um, so, do you think how first of all how is it there in Ohio right now? And uh,
Most things are back to being open here, from what I'm seeing, at least in my local community. I can't testify for the entire state, but it's not the same. We have this fear of if we go out too much, we're going to get sick. Well, okay, I have a different mentality. I've been 3 strokes, craniotomy, brain surgery, epilepsy. I've been through it. I've had COVID. So I don't look at getting sick as a end of the world thing anymore. I don't look at death as being final. I'm sorry, that's just me. A lot of people is going to say differently. So
mm,
yeah, I go out as much as possible. I'll wear a mask, even though technically with pre-existing conditions of asthma and stuff like this, I don't have to, but I'll do it out of respect for other people.
mhm. Okay, so and you shared with us that you've been through a lot of health issues too. So would you like to tell us a little bit more about?
Oh, I wouldn't be here if I didn't get sick in 2011.
Hmm.
I really wouldn't. In 2011, I had my career path planned out. I was going to be a restaurant manager within 5 years. I was going to have my own franchise within 10. I had it planned out. And then I
Hmm.
got sick and I had 2 strokes and brain surgery.
Oh
And I
my.
couldn't walk, couldn't talk, couldn't do anything. So writing actually brought me back to reality.
Hmm. And but that speaks a volume about your inner strength as a person.
Mhm.
That a lot of people get sad or depressed about, and then once they see that part is lost, they just kind of you become very depressed about it. But I kudos to you that you are a strong person, not only strong, but you keep up the creative work. So creativity actually tends to get uh, sometimes brought down by depression,
Mhm.
sadness, and so forth. But I think that speaks volumes. So I really congratulate you. That's your example for others to work.
Well, I try to be an example for other people, regardless if you're overcoming a medical challenge, if you're overcoming depression, if you're overcoming financial issues. There's a way out. You just have to think outside the box to find that answer.
Hmm. Okay. And so tell us what is some of the motivations or some of the positivity which motivates you?
Doing things for my daughter,
Okay.
making sure I'm the best mommy I can be. And my daughter's almost 18, but she's autistic, so it's like having a permanent 7-year-old. So keeping a permanent 7-year-old, you have to be a good mommy.
Yeah.
Have to be that parent that they can turn to no matter what, but at the same time, inspire them to grow themselves.
Hmm. Hmm. So she's your both motivates you as well as relaxes you and also comforts you, right? So she's
Yes,
all in one. Okay, great. And so, are there any times where you feel that okay, you need that you're getting sad, or is there any moments?
I get days that where I'm down. I'll admit I'm not positive 24/7 every day, 365 days a year.
Mm.
No one is. We all have those moments where we get down, and anyone that says otherwise is just lying out of their teeth. I find things that'll pick me up back up. It doesn't matter if it's listening to music, doesn't matter if it's putting a TV show on that I've seen 2,000 times just to make me laugh, or it's come on, baby, let's go out to something and do something. Go to the park, go driving, get lost for an hour or two. You have to find something to bring you out of that negative space.
Mm. Mm. And that is true. That we have to kind of seek the positive energy from outside. It's like I do it myself too. Go out for a drive, or seek the outside. Even there's somehow positivity outside, not inside your room as much. So you have to get light. You have to look at the outside. So any particular outside you love most when it's that time, like green scenery
I
or
have to be in nature. It's just me. I can go hiking, I can go horseback riding, I can go to the park and get it lost on a scenic drive. It just depends. One, what state I'm in.
Mhm.
Two, what park do I want to go to? And three, can I go hike a part of a mountain? Can I go do a nature walk? Can I, where am I at that I can do something in nature?
Mhm. So the natural beauty gets kind of some of the positive energy for you to get you out of that situation, right?
Yes.
How about water? Do you like waterfalls or river?
Waterfalls. I love waterfalls, rivers, creeks. I do wonderful nature photography. Don't ask me to photograph a person. Tell me to photograph a flower. I'm on it. But it helps me, and then it relaxes me. And later on, I'll put that picture of a waterfall to nice, quiet music and just relax.
Okay, great. So I think you have all the kind of figured out all the ways to kind of get you back when you feel you're getting sad or not. So that's great. So also tell us a little bit about of the future. What are some of the projects you're hopefully coming
Well,
up?
I've Tria Press, which is my traditional publishing house. We're very small. I only have about 10 authors right now. We're growing very slowly, very responsibly until the office is open. As soon as
Mhm.
the office is open, we're looking at bringing on about 200 new authors.
Mhm. Okay, great. Also like to know if you have, any final thoughts or any final message for our audience.
Don't stay in your negative headspace. It doesn't matter if you're there for a day or a week. Every 10 minutes, you can change your mindset. Listen to music, find something that brings you to the happy place.
Mm.
Then find out what's causing the negative headspace. Is it your living situation? Is it your family? Is it being around negative people? Once you find the trigger to your negative, you can find your positive.
Okay, great. So that is what a wonderful and straightforward message. So also tell me where people can find more info about your podcast and everything you do. If you want to share your website or
If you Google ML, my last name Ruscsak, you'll find my Facebook, Twitter, my podcast, Dove and Dragon Radio, Tree and Press. You'll find about 10 to 12 pages, and be on the lookout the next couple months for Read Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, and LV Magazine.
okay, great. Well, thank you for coming to our show. It's been wonderful to learn more from you. And also, I'm sure a lot of people will check out your work. And congratulations on your books. And so, hopefully, a lot of people will check that out for us. Take care. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today.